said I was a savage.
Hey guys, welcome back to Being Bougie by Miranda. So as you can see in today's title, the long-awaited, because I feel like a lot of my questions stem from what study materials did I use to study for my exam? You know, where can I go to get a textbook? What program can I use? I definitely did a little bit of research. In this video today, we are going to dive into some of these materials that you can use and tips and techniques. That's basically all this video is about, just what links to use, what I would recommend, and what's also helped me. I will list the textbook that I use, and again, this is a textbook for the state of Florida. That's gonna be in the description box below. So if you live in Florida, that's the textbook that I used specifically to study for my exam. But everything else in this video, this is going to be for anyone in the United States that's looking to get their health insurance license. So I really hope this helps. Don't forget guys, you guys always comment. Don't forget to subscribe either, and let's get into the video. Okay, so the number one thing to studying and prepping for your exam is prayer, okay? Now, I'm not too sure what everyone's belief is. I believe in God, so I prayed, okay? Before I even opened up a textbook in my own home, I sat there with all my materials in front of me and I said a prayer, because with one thing I will say, the power with I've said it multiple times in my videos, what the power of prayer can do. By this time you guys should know it by now, but seriously, it's a real thing. Include God into your studying, into your exam prep, and helping you get ready for this exam, because not only are you going to need the mental capacity to take on this test, you're also going to need that spiritual backing as well. So, and like I said, that's what I use, and that's what helped me in getting me passing and having that faith. It really, really goes a long way. Okay, next thing what you want to do is make sure that you are doing your research on what type of exam preps are there out there in your state that can help you and aid you in taking the license test. People should have access to, whether you have like a phone or you have a computer, is online services. So you could find some on your phone, or you could find some online, or even if you go to the library, you can get online services. So what I did was I did research the top 3 exam courses that are offered for people who are looking to get their insurance license. Now, what I found is a lot of these online services, they go by state, they price out different packages. I recommend that you kind of read over those packages that they offer for the online studying tool and really get a feel for what will work best for your learning. Because as me being a person, one single person, I can recommend all the sites and books and literature to you, but you yourself know how you study well. So you really are gonna have to read through some of those information to see, you know, what exactly in those texts is going to help you study, and not only just study, but retain the information of what you're studying. If online is not gonna be for you, I would recommend you get those things shipped to your home so you could have the physical copies. You're gonna have to make that decision. You're gonna have to go through those packages. I can't sit here and tell you which package to choose. Only you can make that decision for yourself, because you know how you learn the best. And what you want to do is make sure that you are learning the best way you can, because you're taking a license test. This is something that's very important that you're going to want to try and pass, and that you're going to pass, okay? And make sure, like, one thing about me, it's just like Amazon, it's just like if you're online shopping, it's just like if you're reading like book reviews, you want to read reviews of these packages. You want to know what other people who have used this and what their experience was, and see if you can get a feel from that. Because again, you want to get as much information as you can about the program, so you know how you can attack the studying for yourself. So now, another study tip and exam prep that I will say that helped me tremendously was the dedication that I had for studying. Now, I don't recommend people do the amount of studying I did. The only reason I did the amount of studying I did is, and that's because I had a short amount of period with my job to take the exam. So that's why I had to crunch in so much studying. But for someone like you who has a little bit more leisure, you're kind of looking into this and you're kind of starting on this journey and you want to start preparing yourself, you can be looking at 3 to 5 hours. I will recommend 3 to 5 hours a week at least 3 to 5 hours a week of you looking over material. I would have said a day, but if, like I said, if you're not like on a time constraint like I was, 3 to 5 hours a week will be good to start off with. If you do have like a time constraint that you have to take the exam for a specific position, definitely 3 to 5 hours a day. You need to be in that book studying and understanding your material and understanding the legalities of being a health insurance agent. You have to set aside time to learn and retain the information. So if you know you need more time, then give yourself more time. And like I said, only you can know that information. I could only make my recommendations, but at the end of the day, you're the one who's gonna be sitting in that seat that has to take that test. So you're gonna need to know how many hours you feel like it's gonna take you to retain all the information that you get from these study materials. What comes down to the nitty gritty is the regulations that you have to learn of being a licensed agent. You can get your license revoked, and you need to know what would be some of those things that would cause that, and to be simple things you wouldn't even know. As a future agent, because I'm talking to you as a future agent, because you are going to be one if you're watching this video and you're planning on becoming a licensed insurance agent. The reason why you're looking up studying tips, it's because you're getting ready to make that change. So I'm going to talk to you as a future agent. As a future agent, you want to make sure you're not submitting fraudulent applications. That's how important this material is for you to study. Please dedicate those hours, ever hours. I recommend at least 3 to 5 hours a week if you are not on a time constraint. If you are on a time constraint, 3 to 5 hours a day. Now, the last thing I want to talk about and touch on for our exam tips and prep is you need to limit your distractions. You may have to miss out on a brunch or a day party for a while. You may have to find a babysitter for a little peace and quiet. You may even have to miss out on some sleep studying for this exam. Or you may just have to have a conversation with yourself where you're not gonna have any excuses as to why you cannot get your studying and get your online tools taken care of so you can execute this test to the best of your ability. So I basically say that to say, do whatever you have to do to limit your distractions. You know what your distractions are. You know what is a distraction in your life. You know what's gonna be hindering you in that moment of you studying and trying to zone in and retain information and to make sure that you're understanding the material you're doing to become an agent. You have to make that decision for yourself as to what distractions are going to be eliminated from your life. And it's only for a certain amount of time until you take the test, right? Until you take the test and pass. That's the goal. Like I said, all of these tips and exam prep should help you. Pray. I'm a big believer in prayer. So you want to make sure that before you even touch those materials, say a little small prayer. If you're not somebody that doesn't know how to pray, just say, God, please guide me while I study and help me retain this information. If something simple. Don't forget to look at those links below with all of the online services, as well as if you're in the state of Florida, I linked the book that, I didn't really link it, but I did write out the textbook that I used for my studying. Make sure you review any reviews for any of those online services before you go and take one or purchase one, or however it may need to be for you to get into the online services. Make sure you do your research on that. Okay, dedicate your time. Make sure you dedicate the hours to put into studying, because you have to study. No one's gonna take the test but you. So make sure you dedicate the time to study so you are able to understand the information, retain the information, and really get a comprehension on what it is to be a health insurance agent. You know what your distractions are. Make sure you limit those distractions, eliminate them if you can, because those are the things that are going to keep you from really focusing on what's important, which is passing your exam. So if you know you have some distractions, you need to start setting yourself up to where during that time period where you know you're going to be studying and focused and praying and in the text and on your online services, doing your study tools and using them, you need to make sure those distractions are not available to you, or you need to make other arrangements where you can have that time frame to have that peace where you can really zone in on what you need to do. All in all, you know, with the exam prep, if you follow these steps, you will pass. You will pass on the first time. And if you don't pass on the first time, what's good about, you know, this exam, you can try again. At least now you know what to expect, you know. But again, with all of you guys watching this, I have faith in you. I know that you can do because I did it. So don't forget, links are down below. And again, thank you so much for watching.